All right, what's up, y'all, and welcome to another edition of Teaching Tuesday. Today, we are going to be covering the cadenza. So this is an important trick to have under your sleeve. To be playing to know how to play a cadenza. I mean, a lot of the time you're going to do this on a ballad, but it's not exclusive to ballads. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do that, how to do this over the song My Ideal. I have a My Ideal chord melody tutorial up from a while ago if you're interested in that. But yeah, otherwise I'll just go and play it and tell you what it is later. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and play it and we'll dissect it afterwards. Here we go. All right, so let's get into that. What is going on there? So I played the last few bars of the tune, and then we'll just kind of, in terms of what I'm going to show you guys, we'll take it from the B7 sharp 11. So I'm doing this kind of chord here. We have B, A, D flat, and F. And then, so I'm basically kind of doing a run, like a scale, just kind of messing around with that, chord scale. So I'm thinking of that as like a B Lydian dominant, right? So, or it's a mode of melodic minor. It would be the F sharp melodic minor. But I'm going up from the sharp 11. Since that's kind of the key note in the chord. And I'm kind of just doing some frills. I'm not going to dissect exactly what I'm doing here because I'm just kind of messing around on the scale. But I'm going high and I'm just kind of like getting down to the N. I'm basically just like, doing a kind of Joe Pass style run down the scale just to get the sound. But the idea is that you're kind of messing around, you're exploring the sound of that chord. And then that's actually a little bit more unusual to do it on the 2 chord. It's more common to do a cadenza on the 5 chord, so we kind of do that after. But My Ideal kind of lends itself to doing both. Anyways, it's going to be a little bit more relevant for you to do some sort of cadenza, some sort of passage on the 5 chord. So we have a nice B7 or a B13 flat 9. Love this voicing here. We have B flat, A flat, C flat, D, and G. And basically I'm doing the sound of that chord really lends itself to diminished sound, a diminished scale. So I'm just going up the diminished scale with a kind of little Dizzy Gillespie-esque passage. So also I'm not gonna break this diminished run down because I did do that mostly in the best diminished licks video. So if you're interested in exactly what I'm doing and you want more of that, PDF version, all that stuff, you can go to the best diminished licks video and check that out. But basically I'm going up the scale. It's a little bit of a pattern. So I'm not just going up the scale, I'm going like 4 notes and then I go back down. And then eventually I just start going up. And this like kind of way of doing it on the guitar is nice. The diminished scale is a tricky scale, and on the guitar it doesn't always fit. But so this fingering is kind of nice. If you want to just do the scale, it would look like this. And you can kind of get away with doing some slides. Again, if you're interested in just dissecting that a little more, go to the best diminished licks video and PDF if you're talking about the Patreon. And then I'm doing this run down the scale, and it's basically just sixths. So that would be major sixths. Right? Is that major? Or no, minor sixth. Sorry. And within the diminished scale, so no wait, that is a major sixth. I think it's a major sixth. Yeah, major sixth. Anyways. Diminished scale, as we talked about, has a lot of patterns in it. So if we do that minor sixth and then you just move it down every, minor third, so every, 3 frets. Also, we covered this in the diminished video, so check that out if you're interested. But the point is, we're kind of just like exploring the sound of that chord, right? And most of the time, it is going to be like a 13 flat 9 sound, or that's very common. I would say like 75% of the time. Sometimes at the end of the tune, you can do a more of like an altered sound, or it could be it could be an entirely different sound. But definitely with like American songbook standards, it's usually going to lend itself to that diminished sound. But yeah, if it's an altered sound, then you could just run down the altered scale or explore some melodies within that scale. But most of the time, it's going to be more of a diminished sound, or at least that's what I prefer. So, cool. And so then, this isn't like a end-all, be-all formula, but what I usually like to do and how I usually hear this sort of this kind of part of a tune is like kind of explore that chord a little bit and then get to some sort of like resolution, which involves, for me, some sort of chordal passage. Again, if you're a trumpet player or a saxophone player, you're not going to be able to really do that. But basically, resolve it melodically. So what I did there, I go, and I landed on the root there, right? Okay, so then, what I did from there, let's break that down. A lot of people like to start on the flat 5. I don't particularly like that sound in this instance because I hear it as like starting on beat 2, I think. Yeah, beat 2, and then if you do the flat 5, it doesn't really fit in that way if you're following. Anyway, so I like to start from the 4, or I like to start from a bunch of different places, but for this one like particular kind of sound. So I'm starting with basically, like I have an E flat in the melody here, which is the root, and then I just have a triad. It's just an A flat triad. And what I'm doing here is I'm moving all the notes down, so I'm moving like the bottom notes down, and I'm keeping the E flat on the top. So we have A flat triad, and then it's a G augmented triad, and then F sharp 6 chord, an F7, and then a E major 7. So yeah, I'm just moving these 2 notes down 1 fret each time. And see how the rhythm lines up? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And that's how I kind of hear it. That's why I don't like to start on the flat 5, because then it puts you in a different beat that I don't like. But yeah, so we're just moving the lower parts of the chords down. So that would be like the root and the third. And we're keeping the E flat on the top. That's what kind of keeps it melodic and interesting. And then this voicing, I think I went over it in the open voicing tutorial, but it's a really cool E flat major 7 voicing, a little Peter Bernstein-esque there. We got a B flat, E flat, and then open D, open G, F, and B flat. And you can alter that a little bit too. You can, not have the B flat at the bottom, or you can not have the B flat at the top. There's a few different things you can do there. Anyways, that's just a little bit of a formula for how to do your own cadenza. It's just a little bit of like a playbook, a little bit of like a yeah, you know what I'm saying, like a little bit of a, yeah. Anyways, yeah, but I'm going to next week give you a few different variations on kind of like the chordal passage that I did at the end there, because there's a lot of different ways to do that, and I didn't want to cram it all in this video, seeing as this already getting pretty long. But yeah, that's at least a good starting point for how to do a cadenza, and then how to kind of create your own cadenza on that. Within that concept. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in to another Teaching Tuesday. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If I'm going too fast for you, definitely check out the Patreon, which is linked below and has PDFs of this Teaching Tuesday as well as every other Teaching Tuesday in existence that I have put out. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next Tuesday.